Hello, everyone. Welcome to our UQ and BU double degree briefing. This is Vivian, and we also have Alison here.
Hi.
So we will walk through with you some of the basic background about this double degree Bachelor of Communications honor. So this is a 4 years full-time program, and you will spend about 1.5 years at Hong Kong BU and as well as 1.5 years at the Queensland universities, and then you will come back in year 4 to finish all the courses. So altogether, you will spend only 1.5 years in the universities of Queensland. The plan is you are going to start the program at Queensland in year 2, semester 2, until the end of year 3. So 1.5 years altogether. And we are expecting about 2 to 4 outstanding Hong Kong BU students to be accepted in this program, but it all depends. So we welcome for your application. So there are some requirements there. The basic requirements is you will have to get minimum CGPA 3.2 out of 4. And also you have to pass certain standards from the IELTS test. So please be expected that you have to finish the IELTS test before the applications. We will talk about the deadline in a bit. Regarding the tuition fees and support for the local students, there is actually no change for your tuition fee. You have to pay for the same prices as you expected to do it here in Hong Kong. While for the non-local students, you are going to pay for the discrepancy, which means that if you can see in the slide below, the tuition fee for the local BU students at the Queensland universities is about $182,000. So you can pay the discrepancy between the tuition fee at Queensland and the tuition fee of Hong Kong Baptist universities, which is about 40-something thousand Hong Kong dollar. And as a token of appreciation of your participations, the School of Communications will reimburse the cost of 2 economic class flight tickets from Hong Kong to Queensland and Queensland to Hong Kong. So altogether 2 tickets in total. There are something for your considerations, which is already highlighted in the PowerPoint here as well. Regarding the accommodations, you are expected to pay up to $17,000 Hong Kong dollars for a share house. And regarding the living expenses, you are expected to pay up to $111,000 for 1 year. So you have to calculate on your own how much that you have to spend for 1.5 years at the Queensland universities, because altogether you are going to spend 1.5 years there. So roughly about, just for accommodations and living expenses, you are going to expect to spend about $300,000 just on these 2 items, except the tuition fee. So here are some important deadlines for your considerations. Our applications will close on 17th of January next year, and you are going to submit the form directly to the email address here. And speaking of the IELTS test, I think you have to do the IELTS test before February next year, so as to get into the access of this application. And we will arrange an interview. It should be an individual interview around March next year, and then we will release the result around June next year. So let me start with the information for the PRA student first, all right? Altogether, if you are going to pick PR or advertising or ORGC as your concentrations, if you also are interested in this program, the double degree program, that you're expected to complete about 108 to 111 credits, depending on which concentrations you pick. Altogether in total, you are going to take 26 credits at the universities of Queensland and the rest of 82 to 85 credits at Hong Kong Baptist universities, which among these 82 to 85 credits, there are 22 units which are already specified as accredited by the universities of Queensland, which I'm going to tell you more details later on. So altogether, you're expected to finish 48 specified units as accredited by the universities of Queensland. There is one thing that is important for your attention. Speaking of the credits, here at the Hong Kong Baptist Universities, one course will be equivalent to 3 credits, while as the universities of Queensland, one course will be equal to 2 credits. Okay, so these are the components of those 48 units as accredited by the universities of Queensland. As I mentioned, you need to take 26 units at the universities of Queensland, which is equivalent to 13 courses, which 7 courses will be their core subjects, which they name it as category A. If you search the information online about this degree program at the universities of Queensland, they basically have 3 different categories. Category A is the core subjects, category B is the major subjects, and category C is the elective subjects. So 7 courses that you are going to take at the University of Queensland are the core subjects, whereas 6 courses will be the major subjects. And then for the remaining 22 units, which is equivalent to the 11 courses to be claimed at Hong Kong Baptist University, will include 3 courses as the core and 8 courses as the elective. So altogether, you are going to take 14 courses, right? 14 courses, because this is accredited between the universities of Queensland and Hong Kong Baptist University. And yeah, so you are going to leave Hong Kong at the end of year 2, semester 1. And let me give you some detailed information about what are these courses to be transferred. So when you go to universities of Queensland, that will be the spring semester starting in January. So there are 4 courses that you are going to take in each semester. And you can see there are 2 columns. The second column is the name of the courses that you are going to take at the universities of Queensland, which including communications research, methods, connectivity of culture, media strategies, and writing creatively, which is actually equivalent to 4 of our courses at Hong Kong Baptist Universities, including communication research method, communications technology and change, audience measurement and engagements, and advertising copywriting. So you can see actually we already matched the courses for you guys. All right, so meaning if you take the courses at the University of Queensland, these can be transferred, the credits at the Hong Kong Baptist Universities already. Each semester, like I said, you have to take 4 courses and maximum 4 courses only. This is actually the guideline according to the Universities of Queensland. In the 4th semester, about the time in July, you're going to take another 4 courses, which including writing and editing for the professions, media design, PR project, and public relations writing. At that particular summer, you will see there is one course called Communications Internship, which is equivalent to our course's Strategic Communications Practicum. So if you take PRA as your major, basically you need to take Practicum. And since we can allow you to transfer between these 2 courses, so you are recommended to take the internship at the Universities of Queensland during the summer. And like I said, because each semester they only allow 4 courses only. So these additional courses you have to take during the summer. And don't forget to register before summer. And please check out, the details at the international office at the Universities of Queensland. And then the last semester, which you are going to take another 4 courses, digital project issues and stakeholder engagement, public interest communications, as well as the last subjects. You have an options. Either you take the understanding the news or political communications will be fine. So you take either one of them as the last courses. As you can see, under the column of transferable credits at Hong Kong Baptist University, the last course, School Core 4, actually is equivalent to either the understanding the news or political communication. So when you come back, you don't have to make up the School Core 4. So that is a good news for you, because the School Core 4 is a compulsory course for all the students here in the School of Communication. So that is about the 26 units covered at the Universities of Queensland. Remember, when you come back or beforehand, you go to the Universities of Queensland, there are another 22 credits that you need to take at the Hong Kong Baptist University. So altogether, it makes up the double degree. So we already, again, match all the courses for you guys. So when you come back or before you go there, make sure that you take all the courses named in the middle column, which, at the column course title at Hong Kong BU. So these are the courses that you have to take at Hong Kong BU in order to claim the double degree at the Universities of Queensland. So let's say if you take the principles of practices of PR here in Hong Kong, which is equivalent to their courses called Introductions to Public Relations. So please make sure that you, in your study plan, you have to include the first column courses, which is equivalent to 22 credits. So there is one thing for you to consider. Since in our study plan, there might be sometimes some changes according to whether the principle of the methods of advertising and the principle of public relations will be opened either on the first semester or the second semester. So it all depends on the availability of these 2 courses. So luckily, if these 2 courses can be offered in the first semesters of year 2, then you don't have to make up when you come back. So I put the remarks here telling you there might be a chances that according to the teaching assignment that we won't be able to offer both courses before you go to University of Queensland, and meaning you have to come back and make up one of these courses. We hope that we can offer both courses in year 2 and 1, but there is no guarantee at this moment. And regarding for another course, PRA 3015, Consumers Perspective of PR and Advertising, unfortunately, because you are all packed and overwhelmed in year 2 and 1 already, according to the study plan we prepare for you. So you might expect it to make up in year 4, semester 1. Let me, actually, I do have the study plan for you. Let me give you some ideas about the study plan. So let's say, for example, if you are the students who is going to take advertising and branding as your concentration in PRA major, as you can see, the first year and the semester 1 of year 2, you are expected to take, the courses that we list out here. Tentatively, I put principle of advertising and principle of PR here. So that you don't have to make up when you come back. But again, it all depends on the teaching assignments, and different year are different. So there might be a chances that one of these courses will not be able to offer in the first semester. So in that case, that you might have to make up when you come back. And these the purple column actually are the courses that you are going to take at the universities of Queensland. So like I said, each semester you only are required to take 4 courses only in maths at the universities of Queensland. Except year 3 semester 1, you have to take the internship there at Australia as well. So please make sure that you have to take this one before you come back. Otherwise, there is no way that we can make up here according to the double degree plan and agreement. The other thing that I would like to draw your attention is here. There is a course called Digital Project. If you remember what I just mentioned in the PowerPoint, digital projects actually is equivalent to one of the courses here called Advanced Qualitative Research. Basically, for all the students who opt for PRA major, in year 4, we do give an options to the student. Either you can take Advanced Qualitative Research or Advanced Quantitative Research. So we are assuming that if you take the digital project, which is equivalent to our Advanced Qualitative Research, you don't have to make up the other one. So this is actually for your information. So since you already take the digital project, which is equivalent to the Advanced Qualitative Research, so you don't have to opt for the quantitative, the Advanced Quantitative one when you come back. So it saves you some time, basically. And this is actually for advertising branding concentrations. If you opt for ORGC, it will be the same actually. You have to make up certain courses at universities of Queensland. And depending on the concentrations, in year 4, you have to make up, some concentration courses. So here is the plan for the ORGC students. So you can see the advertising student, when you come back, you have to make up some advertising major core like branding communications, creative expressions, and narrative storytelling. So these are the major courses for advertising and branding concentration. For ORGC, they also have some core courses like service communications, leadership communication. So this is almost a must because these are the core courses that you have to make up when you come back. For PR, since Universities of Queensland's degree is more like a PR degree, so for public relations students, when you come back, you make up less major core courses because you already take a lot of PR related courses at the Universities of Queensland. So that is a good news for the PR students. And in that regard, you can see the total number of the credits that you get from this double degree for the PR students will be less, 3 credits less for the ORGC and the advertising student. So for the PR students, when you come back, similar as the advertising and the ORGC student, you have to make up some core courses like corporate social communication responsibility and stakeholders engagement, or some PR writing courses. Other than that, PR, ORGC, and advertising and branding students would be taking something very, very similar. So that is about PRA students, and I will leave the floor to Alison, and which she will talk about some details for the journalism students, and we will also have the Q&A at the end.
Hello, this part is talking about journalism students. So if you choose journalism in year 2, then you may consider to participate in this course. As you can see, this course is catered for all journalism students, which means no matter whether you are in IJ or you choose CJ, you are eligible to apply. But however, you have to bear in mind that because in the University of Queensland, their medium of teaching are all in English. So even though you are teaching, you take Chinese journalism is fine. But however, if you take the stream, that could have a bit of Yeah, if you talking about stream, like whether you like to take IJ broadcast stream or IJ financial journalism stream, that is no guarantee you will be able to do that because it's very much depends on the courses, whether you'll be able to make up all the courses. But however, if you take general stream, it will be fine, absolutely fine. But does it mean that you have to take general stream? Not necessarily. So before you go, you have to double check with your concentration coordinator to see whether it be able to cater for your needs. Otherwise, general streams will be very safe. And other good news actually is for this double degree, you can see from BU the degree you obtained with the Bachelor of Communication. However, in UQ, the degree you're going to get is Bachelor of Journalism. So it looks like you got two different degrees, although they are all both of them are focused on journalism. So for, as Vivian has said, the first 1.5 year, so which means the first 3 semesters you will study in Hong Kong BU. And then starting from the second semester of year 2, you will spend 1.5 year in UQ. By the end of the third year, you will come back to Hong Kong. Then you have to finish your year 4 studies in Hong Kong HKBU. So for journalism student participate in this program, you need to complete 68 to 71 units at Hong Kong BU, while you need to complete 24 units in UQ. In UQ, each courses normally will have 2 units, which means 12 courses. In Hong Kong BU, most of the courses are 3 units. So in this case, IJ will take 68 and CJ will have 71 units in HKBU. So at the end, when you take IJ, 2 courses together, you actually in total will take 92 units. For CJ, in total, you take 96 units against Hong Kong BU's normal 4-year 128 units. So you see there are a number of rooms for you because this is minimum requirement. So you have a number of rooms to take elective subjects in year 4 when you are back. We actually have planned the study plan for you because in order to meet the requirement of both universities. So there is not much rooms you can juggle. So you have to follow the study plan. This is the safest. So in year 1 semester 1, year 1 semester 2, you will be, the study plan is more or less the same as other students. So you won't need to change a lot. But however, starting from year 2 semester 1, then there will be some changes. Year 1, year 2, the year 2 semester 1, you will take 18 units instead of 17 as other students. Because there are a little bit of changes to adjust for GE. But however, in year 4, you will take less units than other HKBU students. So there are a number of things you need to bear in mind is both IJ-CJ students have to take practicum. So in this case, you have to do practicum in Queensland. Which is Practicum 1 and Practicum 3, which means 2 of the 3 semesters you spend in Queensland, you have to do Practicum. We do it all the times, like exchange students. So you just do it online, you just conversate with your editors online will be fine. We don't see any big problem for that. And also for year 4, when you come back, you have to do the honor project in semester 1 instead of semester 2 in order to give rooms for the subjects you're going to take. And then for journalism internship, we need you to come back to do journalism internship in year 4 instead of the summer of year 3. It is because you need to finish all your practicum before you start your internship. So while the internship depends on the arrangement, you might be able to take it in the spring holiday, or you can take it in the summer of year 4. So you have to fulfill all the requirements of both universities in order to get the degrees from both universities. So which means you have to follow the study plan. So let us see the study plan. Okay, this is the study plan for CJ. We do this study plan as you would take the general stream, which is very flexible actually. So year 1, it will be the same as what you are having now, but starting from year 2, there will be a little bit different. We don't have the English news writing and reporting because you're going to take it in UQ, but we do have a major elective added here in order to give more rooms for other subjects. Okay, starting from year 2, semester 2, you take 4 subjects in Queensland. Year 3, also 4 subjects semester. However, starting from year 2, you need to take Practicum correspondingly from Australia. And then when you come back in year 4, you see first semester, you only need to take 8 units, which means you have a lot of rooms to take other elective, other subjects if you like. And also semester 2, you see also you need to take 8 units only. This is for CJ. So for CJ, you need to take 1 more, which is theory and practice in journalism in Greater China. So at the end, you will take 71 units in Hong Kong altogether, and 24 units in Australia. But for IJ, because we share the language, so you don't need to take extra. In total, you take 68 units. And in UK, you take 24. So bear in mind, we have to be flexible because in Queensland, these subjects may have slight changes due to the curriculum. And Hong Kong, as far as I know, we don't have much change now, but if there is changes, we will amend it accordingly. Okay, so we might open to the floor for questions. If you have questions, you can type it up. So let us address the question, should students with scholarship give it up to join the program?
We believe that the answer is no, but we need to double check with the Office of Student Affairs to confirm. So we will give you more information about this later. Yeah. Any other questions?
So you can use your chat box to raise questions. So is that clear enough? I think you have to bear in mind there will be quite a lot of extra costs. So you have to make sure you need to discuss with the family or sponsor for that. Okay, the question about how could students benefit from this double degree program if they choose CJ in the future? Yes, from the surface, you means you study in Queensland, which is in English. Would it benefit you? But for sure, it will benefit you because in Hong Kong, this is an international society. Even though you are doing Chinese journalism, there are a lot of chances that will cover English documents or English information. So this course will enhance your conversation and your language ability. And also, I think the most important thing is you get a international exposure. Then you will live there 1.5 year abroad. That you will understand more about Australia. Due to globalization, I believe as a future as a journalist, that will help you a lot if you got more exposure overseas. So what is the latest time to submit IELTS?
Because we will arrange the interview in
March.
March. So I think the latest time for you to submit the IELTS result is early March or end of February.
Would you email the PowerPoint?
Yes, we will email the PowerPoint and the study plan to you guys. What is the quota for the program? About the quota, about two students for the 2 to 4 students for the local students and 4 to 5 for the non-local students.
Okay, if you participate in this program, you need to do practicum overseas, which means when you are in Queensland, you have to communicate with your editors in Hong Kong to propose your story ideas from Australia. I bet there is no big difference that you can do your stories and interviews in Australia and write something related to Australia or what depends on your editors. Then after you finish your story, you can email to your editors. So we do it all the times for exchange students. It would be fine.
Okay, I see there are some questions about minors in BU. I guess since this double degree program actually occupy a lot of your time, and there are some restraint in terms of when you have to take certain courses, either in BU and at Queensland. So I guess minor may be difficult if you consider this double degree program. I also see there is a questions about accommodations. Could you introduce more about the share house? I guess we can give you some information, but students are flexible and you have your freedom to look for who you want to share the house with. But definitely the School of Communications or the International Office can give you some information later on. We can actually work on this with the International Office. So we already answered the questions for minor. Would we get any sponsorship from the school? Actually, the school already consider, you know, the financial difficulty. So the school will sponsor 2 tickets in total for students who are accepted in this program. So the tickets would be kind of like the reimbursements considered from the School of Communications.
And also the school will pay the tuition fee difference for local students. The tuition fee difference between Hong Kong BU and UQ.
So there is a question asking, is the CGPA requirement only applicable to SEM 2 or both SEM 1 and SEM 2? We will consider both SEM 1 and SEM 2, but it all also depends on the schedule because we are planning to schedule the interview around March, so could be SEM 1 of year 2.
But we will wait for
The result of the SEM
result
2
of SEM
GPA until we announce it, yes. So there is a question asking, will the government sponsorship be affected? Like if we can still apply for the grant? I think there is no effect on that. So you can go ahead with the applications of the government sponsorship. Do students still need to fulfill the GE requirements in Hong Kong BU? Yes, as you can see, there are certain courses from the GE department that you have to fulfill. We can send you the study plan of these 5 different concentrations so you can see which GE courses that you have to do before you go to the universities of Queensland. So yes, you do have to fulfill certain requirements, but you do not need to fulfill all the GE requirements.
For the 普通话 requirement, I think we have to double check with the AR.
Because it should be a general requirement for all HKBU students. If it applies to all students, then it applies to the students that participant in this double degree program.
I think it all depends in terms of which country you go to as well. Let's say if you want to study in Australia, it could be journalism and strategic communication. US definitely strategic communication. So it all depends on which countries that you are planning to study your postgraduate degree. Yeah, I guess. Alison, do you have any?
I don't have information in this regards, but as far as I know, if you wanted to apply for a postgraduate degree in England, they probably will require a higher proficiencies of your language, which means English language. So if you spend 1.5 years in Australia, mainly communicate in English, I believe that will enhance your language ability. In this sense, I believe it will help. Any more questions?
If there are no more questions, we will close the floor.
So I guess you don't have any other further questions, so we will close the floor here, and thanks for your participations. In the meanwhile, we also would like to let you know that the PowerPoint presentation and the study plan will be uploaded on our website, the school website, and if you need further individual help, please welcome to send the school the questions, and we will look for the answers for you. So remember, the application deadline is January 17th, 2020. So before the deadline closes, you're welcome to pose any questions to us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.